Hey, what's up everyone, I'm Mara and today I'm bringing a brand new unboxing and my review of the Sara Ryder figure from Mass Effect Andromeda by McFarlane Toys. And boy, I have to admit I am so excited because this is my first experience with Color Tops line, which is a new line for McFarlane. Until now I was collecting their figures, but it was only Halo. For example, here you can see behind me there are some Halo 4, Halo 5 figures, which were action figures, and they were 5.5 inches to about, they were under 6 inches, but they were nice, but you know, tiny. 5.5 inches isn't that big. And you know, because they were action figures, you could have been posing however you pleased, like they've made a jumping pose or running pose, whatever. But these are a little bit different because they are 7 inches tall, so it is fairly bigger, and they are not action figures anymore. Whatever McFarlane is saying, I don't care. For me, these are not action figures anymore because the articulation is so limited. Basically, you have one pose. They are here's the render of it, and you know, they're 3D printed. I'm not talking about how they were created, but this the pose here. This is basically how your figure will look like. Of course, you can kind of like personalize it a little bit more. Like you can pose the arms, make her hold the pistol in one hand or two hands, whatever. But you won't be able to make, for example, Sarah just run or whatever. So that's why some people may not like it anymore. To me personally, a few years earlier, I would have said I don't like it, but today I am so happy because they look so much more natural and real because of that. You know, the pose is kind of like they're made for this pose, not just random standing pose that you can pose in. But anyway, without further ado, let's begin. Alright, this is how the packaging looks like. Personally, I don't care about the packaging, you know, I care what's inside. But anyway, this is the back of it and the sides. Really basic packaging, but in my opinion it looks much more elegant than it looked before. So I'll just quickly get it out of the box. Alright, basically those are all the contents of the packaging, the figure and few accessories. And let's take a closer look on the base first, because, you know, it's accessory as well. And in the beginning I have to say I really love how those bases look like. They are all the same style. You know, those sides, this is kind of like this more classic look. And this is what I like, because you can have figures from every universe you'd like, and they kind of like always match. The only thing that changes is of course the logo. This is the Mass Effect Andromeda, but the only thing that changes is kind of like what's inside here. And this looks a little bit like, I don't know, sand and a few stones, kind of like rocks, but it looks okay. You could always paint it if you like, but it looks very nice and elegant, I have to say. Okay, now let's take a look on the helmet. And I have to say, if you played Mass Effect Andromeda and you liked it, you'll love the figure. Yes, take a closer look here, it's so accurate. It looks so beautiful and gorgeous. So many details. And even, you know, the paint applications, for example, here you have the N7 logo, which looks really nice, so clean and crisp. Like here, the white lines, which could be like lightning. For example, here's the red. And I also like that they just didn't use one paint. For example, here you can see this is a little bit different shade of kind of like dark gray or black. And this one is a little bit darker and richer. And also it's a lot more glossy, which you can of course see. But overall it's beautiful. Now the pistol, which also looks amazing in my opinion. It's tiny, as you can see in my hand, it's really tiny, but if you take a closer look at, you know, at the details, how many like raised actual details it has, it's just beautiful. It just pops out in a light immediately. And also it has few paint applications. You can see like red kind of like stripe here also, and tiny logos that you can't even actually read, like for example here's caution, but so tiny really. The other side as well, but it's amazing how many details they have. Just gorgeous. And of course you have also the peg, which I almost lost. The peg comes only to the thigh here, you know, in case you'd like to make this pistol kind of like that Sara doesn't have to hold it. It's okay, but in my opinion I won't use it. So it wasn't really necessary in my opinion to make that. But let's take a closer look on Sara, you know, the main figure and the most important part of this. And I have to say, I'm so in love because she's so gorgeous. Just look at her face. Just look how real it looks, like natural. In my opinion, this is really total win. There's many human figures, they kind of like fail because of the face wasn't done so beautiful. And here she looks not 100%, but 1000% legit. Just gorgeous. But just so you know, this is how she looks whole. Just beautiful. The back of it, so pretty. So many details, it's so gorgeous. And of course the side. And the second side. There are a few things I don't really like, that I'm not really fond of, but overall I think she's so gorgeous. Of course, you know, the paint applications first. As you can see, the head is so pretty. And also, they even painted the hair like a little bit of dry brushing brown. So it isn't just black color. But look at those details, even the hair, the texture on it, it's so beautiful. The ponytail, just beautiful work, I have to say. But for example, on the body, you know, her armor thingy, the suit, I would say overall it's very pretty. Yeah, I'm overall very happy how the paint looks like. The only thing that I don't really like is this thing. Like here it still looks okay, but here not anymore. On this side it's even worse, so I don't really know what they were going here with. But overall it's still fine, it's just a detail here. Yeah, here a little bit is kind of like rubbed off, the red paint. But overall it's just, you know, those details that you don't really want to even see. But still, like, just look how crisp those stripes are here. So beautiful. Even here, like those triangles, which are silver. It can be a stencil or something, most likely. But I love how those rings look like. So crisp, but so tiny. It's really hard to paint those things, especially in factories. But beautiful thing. So right now I'd like to go into the articulation, which is important point because this is another line and these aren't action figures anymore. So as I said, they are a little bit articulated, but not anymore that much. So Sara can raise her arms that much. And of course you can rotate it, but you know, it's not that important. Now the elbow joints, they make about 90 degrees. Here another one as well, about 90. And in my opinion, it could have been done a little bit better because, you know, with the pistol, it would be nice if she could hold it like even to this angle or even a little bit more. You know, it's a pistol, it's not a assault rifle or anything bigger. So it could have been better. Of course, the angle, the hand rotates and you can bend it. It's, you know, it's the standard McFarlane joint. And here, as you can see, it is already restricted. You can move it up and down a little bit and rotate it to the sides, but it's still okay in my opinion. But you know, only the back of it, if you bend her like that, it shows here already the hole, which is fine, but you know, you won't be holding her like that. And I promise you won't, because she won't be able to stand. Now, the thighs, which is a little bit disappointing if you were expecting it to be an action figure. I was not, so I'm still happy. So this is basically all the movement you can get. Literally this, which is next to nothing, but you can rotate it a little bit, just a tiny little bit. And the knee, which isn't even 90 degrees. And the only joint I see pointless is the feet. You can see it's already kind of like standing at an angle, and even if I rotate it, kind of like it moves back to its original position. I'm not doing anything, it's literally just itself. So I don't know what they were thinking here, but anyway, the head, I think I forgot. It moves to the sides, you can even rotate it, and it moves a little bit here to the sides, and also it doesn't really move up and down, just a tiny bit. But still, it's a really nice figure. And the very important part, can she hold a pistol? You know, figures holding their weapons is very important, and yes, she can, and she can hold it very good. Like, nothing moves, which is great. And of course she can hold... Was I saying something? She can hold her pistol very good? Yeah, she can, but until you do something. And also, if you move here, she can hold it with 2 hands, which is basically what she was advertised as. So it isn't that bad, but still, in my opinion, why does Sara have just a tiny little pistol and her brother has a whole assault rifle? It's like, it's not fair. I like big boomsticks. But anyway, let's change the head for the helmet, which is very simple. As you can see, I just popped it off and pop it on. Very simple. And, which is funny, the helmet has a little bit more mobility than the actual head. So you can see it rotates to the sides. You can move it. It has really nice articulation here. You can move it up and down. Basically the same amount. And also to the sides. But it makes really nice natural poses. A little bit better than the head if you want to look at it from the side like that for the profile. But so I'll make a few photos to show you nice poses, how you can pose it if you like to see, and I'll include later. But yeah, swapping the head is very easy. Personally, I will have it on my display like that with the actual head, because I play as a default Sara Ryder. So yeah. But overall, I am so happy how the figure looks like. By the way, I almost forgot to show you that you can actually make Sara stand on this display here on this base. And the only thing, as I said, I do think those feet joints, those angle joints are pointless. They are actually even worse, because they are not kind of like... Sara is always losing her center and is always leaning here, and she can literally fall. So that's a bummer. They could be a little bit better, because as you can see, they are really loose. And I've heard it's not only on my figure, it's literally on pretty much every figure. They're really loose, and that's why she can lose her balance, which is a little bit bummer, but you can always try to pose her in a different way. By the way, if you have the Scott Ryder, his sibling, you can also swap weapons. For example, this is his assault rifle. So if you want, you know, if you want Sara to have a bigger boomstick, you can have it. Wait a second, I'll just quickly show you. It's not the best pose right now, but it was just done within a few seconds. But as you can see, she can hold really nicely. Not as good as Scott, but this is topic for another time, as I think his figure is a little bit better than Sara, but yeah, you can if you want. Alright, and this is basically how Sara Ryder figure looks like. I have to say, overall it's a nice, quite solid figure, but it has some flaws, like I already said, what I don't really like, what I'm not really fond of. But one major problem is this that she can fall off like fall over to the front. As I already said, she has problems with balancing. See, she immediately falls. And this is not my fault. This is basically the fault of the joints at her feet. See? They are way too loose. Scott doesn't have those problems, you know, Sarah's brother, she doesn't have these. And I'll have Scott's review in the future, so you can look forward to it. But other than this balancing issue, I would say she's a really nice figure. I love it. Those details are so good, like the paint is so nice. Like overall it's a great figure, but other than this issue and a few others, but those I cannot change because they were something I didn't like about designing the pose and all. But yeah, overall a great figure and recommended pretty much to anyone if you're a fan of Mass Effect, the Fem Raider, the Sara Ryder, or just overall the game, or if you don't know Mass Effect and maybe you're just collecting figures or space chicks. I don't know, but I don't judge. Alright guys, this is pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, I really appreciate it if you hit the like button below, and of course comment if you have any questions, your thoughts, and also if you have this figure, what is your opinion about it. But anyway, subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos in the future. But yeah, until next time.